Um, Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ohana Hobby Workshop. And today we are looking at something pretty damn awesome, and that is a product from a company called Noravas. And these guys are based on Etsy. And what they do is we have 3D print parts. So obviously this I will be showing two versions. So this is obviously how it based out of the prints, etc. But this will also show you some of the problems that also I encountered. But it's more I didn't do a few bits, so it's not a problem with the file. This is strictly just something that I've done, and that is just basically a little bit of warpage on the edge and a little bit. But so what you're wondering is what this is. So as you can see, you've got extra clips, and on the other side, you have obviously more holes. That's a really good thing, especially for a lot of different systems. So D&D, you probably get away with Pathfinder. You could do a lot of different things. And basically, what it is, so this is your platform, and we'll show it back on side. There we go. So as you can see, all like this, all cubed, and basically, this I've done nothing to this lot. So what this also entails is, we'll grab some of this stuff here. Which ones do we want to grab? Yeah, we'll grab it. So it comes with these little parts. So I will like to say these are printed on a 0.6 nozzle. And the one I'm going to show after all of this was printed on a 0.4 nozzle. That came out a lot better quality with some minor tweaks I've done myself. And essentially, you grab your corner bit, done. And what this is essentially just a full modular sort of dungeon crawl-esque sort of vibe you can get from it. So you've got you can do a couple of walls there. Slide this down. Wants to be nice to me. Yep. Obviously, would be a bit different. You would actually connect walls as such. So, for example, like that would go like that. This one you could then throw like that there. Obviously, it would fit better, but that's just a fault on my behalf. And obviously, you also get these little doors as well. So these are really nice, and they just obviously also slip in. But obviously, it doesn't really go into place that well. I think that's just a problem on my side. I don't think it's the file, because I haven't had that problem with the second one I'm going to be showing you guys. So, can we call your little sort of, essentially, yeah. So this was, we'll just slide this on here, why not? Let me. There we go. So this would essentially slide on, or push on, whichever one. You've got some, other corner bits like so. Up there, you've got your singular walls as well, if you really fancied it. So, keep it like this for a minute. So, one of the other things as well is we also get stuff like this. So, obviously, this is this is printed on a 0.6 nozzle. So, you will see layer lines and stuff like that, but obviously, you can improve quality. And you can see, get some little bits of scenery. So, we will just throw that one here. So you've got a little bar there. You've also got stuff like, for example, got some pillars. I'm knocking everything over. Obviously, once they're in place, they are a lot better as well. So you've got your pillars. So if you really wanted to, throw sort of a pillar by your bar. Also on top of that, obviously, number one, you've got your table. So this is actually a prime example. So obviously, you can see it's all cleared here, but that's not how it actually comes. So you could also put your book bit there, etc. But obviously, because of some things that I've done, doesn't seem to really go together well, but I think that's because of the 0.6 nozzle, essentially. So as you can see, all clear, but this is because of how the support's done. And as you can see, I started clearing this bit out, then I gave up in the end because I've got a lot of problems with my arm at the minute, so I couldn't remove supports move. So it comes in essentially this block here fills up, you pull it away, done. Or you just throw it on the floor and hope for the best. So this was the one printed at a 0.6 nozzle. So we do have another one. Here's one I prepared earlier. And this is on a 0.4 nozzle. So you might not be able to see it straight away, but obviously you can see the quality, especially for this section here, is a lot better quality than this. So if you are going to print this, I do not recommend a 0.6 nozzle. I would recommend the 0.4 nozzle. As for settings, do what you feel comfortable with. I can't remember exactly what we printed this on, but I know it's a 0.4 nozzle. And off the top of my head, I don't think I'll remember. But obviously, it depends on how you want it to look. And if we do some comparison, let's grab this bit and this bit. So, as you can see, the difference, there's a few differences you can see. So, first off, you've got the quality. The 0.4 nozzle is a better quality, and if you want to push it further, you could go for 0.6, 0.2, if you want to go further. But the other noticeable difference with this, that you might have just seen, have I got like two side bits the same? Yeah. So I'll grab these two bits. So as you can see, quality is in, but the size has been increased. So I found that increasing the size a little bit, I will have to double check the size of how I had done this, because me, it's probably forgotten. But I increased the size by a few millimeters, and I found it printed a lot better for me personally. So I've increased the size of these. But one of the other things I have done, move all this off, is we have also increased the size of this plate. And as you can see, compared to the 0.6 nozzle, this one printed off a lot better. So obviously you've got a little bit there, but I figured out what that was. That was an issue of my leveling. And basically what this has done is caused them all to be a bit more sort of flush. So I found, from a personal perspective, printing this at 0.4 nozzle and increasing the size of it, essentially, just by a little bit, you don't need to do it loads. And what that's allowed me to do is, as you can see, everything goes in a lot easier. And you can make your sort of your corridors. Oh, there's a little bit of that, didn't there? But you can make your little corridors, stuff like that. So, with this, what can it be used for? Obviously, D&D is a huge one. And one of the reasons that I've got this is heroquest. And I'm going to be making a full board to represent the exact same size of the actual heroquest board. And we're going to use these guys for this. I would like to also add, I did pay for these files myself. They were not sent to me. They were not, I'm not being essentially coerced. I'm not being told what to say. This is just my honest review on the product. So, let's look at the good points. So, good points are modular, easy to store, very simple to do. You can print a lot of it as well. That's an even better part to it. The quality is really good. Obviously, you can push it to a 0.2 and it'll be even better. If you really want to spend hours doing it. Personally, for me, we didn't want to at this point because obviously we're just doing a couple of test runs. I would say it prints better on a 0.4 than a 0.6. You can tell the detail more on a 0.4. The detail as well, we'll go into that aspect, really good. The way they've designed it is actually really nice. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. We will be having a lot of boards set up very soon for this probably. So, what are things I don't like about it? Well, there's a couple of bits. Well, it's not so much I don't like, it's things that I would like to see. So, personally for me, I would like to see a few more accessories. Sort of like other rooms. So, if we take the heroquest, for example, you've got stuff like the wizard's room, you've got like standard dining rooms, but all that sort of stuff, like multiple different room variants. I know there is obviously quite a lot already. They've got some pillars, they've got bar stuff, bits like that. But I like to see more variants on accessories with that. The other thing as well, doorways. I wouldn't mind seeing some more doorways, but different styles as well. To sort of like, so you've got like obviously your oval one here. I wouldn't mind seeing like some square ones, or even double doors. So they could fill up like 2 squares. That'd be another one as well I'd like to see. Things that also I would like to see, and I know they are making some bits, is obviously textured floors. That will go really well. But have the walls with the textured as well, essentially, and sort of like foresty, gardeny sort of areas. I know the artwork's for that, and I can't wait for that to drop. So yeah, so essentially overall, really good kit. Definitely worth the price of it. Don't think it cost us that much, and we bought a couple of the kits. We will include obviously their Instagram, their Etsy store underneath in the description, so that will all be there. But obviously there are some things I would change personally, like, or not even change, just add on, like more doorways and more accessories for various different rooms, etc. And really just with that sort of stuff, like the modularity is really good. Not really a bad thing I can say about it, because obviously the 0.6, that was my doing, because of little bits that I messed about with, thought it would be best. No, but I would highly recommend increasing the size just a little bit. I found with the 2 tests we done, increasing the size by a few millimeters height wise. So I just like to add, it is height we increased, not the width or the length. We just increased the height a little bit. So I would probably recommend increasing the height a little bit. I wouldn't recommend putting on a 0.6. I would always recommend a 0.4 or a 0.2. And then obviously things I want to see is like a bit more accessories and stuff like that. I know they are working on a fair bit. But apart from that, a really good kit. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We are going to be printing several amounts of it, and we will be trying to figure out how many of these we need for a full heroquest board. So we will be doing that, and that's probably going to take a while. Note to self. So we will have that. But yeah, so anyone out there who's doing role playing, such as heroquest, D&D, any sort of dungeon crawler sort of aesthetic, highly recommend picking up this. If you don't know anyone that has 3D printers, that's fine. I'm pretty sure they, on their site, don't hold me to it, but I think I did see that they do print as well for you guys. So if you don't own a printer, I'm pretty sure they do supply that. And yeah, so obviously we will include everything in the description to the Etsy store, all that sort of stuff. But essentially, out of 10, I would get. If it wasn't for my own, I would give it a 10, but I'd give it a 9, just because of there are things that I would do to it differently. I would increase the height a little bit on stuff, but that's something that you can do with yourself in obviously your softwares. But yeah, other than that, apart from increasing the height a little bit, maybe adding in some different types of doors, some more accessories, trap doors, stuff like that. And then potentially even some different types of walls. So like if you're doing essentially like a garden sort of area, maybe some fences, stuff like that. But obviously, yeah. But yeah, if anyone's got any other ideas like you would like to add, or any suggestions for the people, obviously I will drop all their links below. You can obviously comment as well. But yeah, so 100% would go buy this, and I would highly recommend it for people that are really into their dungeon crawlers, D&D, HeroQuest, stuff like that. But yeah, but on that note, I will see everyone on the next one.